Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Crystal and this is my social thread. This vlog is all about everything sewing related, so if that's something that you're interested in, please do like and subscribe. So today I've got a different background behind me. I'm on my upstairs hallway and I thought I'd do something different. I'm going to do a sewing room tour, so let's begin. So this is the doorway to my sewing room. And this is my sewing room over here. Welcome everybody. So I'll just do a quick pan shot of my sewing room. There you go. Mirror there, shelves, and back to the doorway. Okay, so first of all, let's start on this side of the wall. This is the Ikea Pegboard, which I'm sure lots of you have seen, readily available in Ikea, and they come with lots of different bits and pieces that you can attach. So I've gone for these little containers, and it's got like a metal lid that you can hook on. You can get like little hooks to hang things on. You can get like little bars to hang sort of reels of ribbon. You can also get little shells, which I'll show you later on, which I've got as well on my other one. And basically on here I have all my bits and bobs. They're not as tidy as they could be, but there you go. So first of all I have this. I'm not sure what it's called, but it basically is a puncher, and it punches different sized holes into fabric and card, leather, that sort of thing. So I have used that for punching holes into denim where I wanted to put a denim button in. Also, if you want to punch holes through several layers of jersey or French terry or sweatshirting, if you wanted to put a snap in, then that's really good to punch a hole first before you put the snap in. This one over here is the Prim Vario Pliers, again used to install the plastic snaps that you find on children's clothing, or the silver are they called snaps or buttons that you find on baby grows, so that sort of thing. So I bought that for children's wear when I did make quite a lot of clothing for my own children. This is just the hem guide, I believe, for my mannequin. This little tool here is a pattern notcher. Let me just show you. So it's like, and it notches sort of little rectangular holes into your pattern pieces. What I found is that it also punches through fabric. So once I've cut my fabric out with my pattern piece on it, I will cut through both the pattern piece and the fabric together, and then you have your notches on both of those pieces. These are pinking shears, which you use for cutting the edge of fabric so it doesn't fray, mainly for sort of cotton poplin, sort of stable woven fabrics. That would work really well for. Just a pair of shears there. I think they're Millwood's shears. Over here I have some thread gadget things. I'll show you. So you have these little things for the bobbins, these little things for the thread, and basically, and you've got these little hooks as well. So basically what you do is you insert a bobbin in first and then a thread. Here's one I made earlier. This is like a cooking show, isn't it? Here's one I made earlier. And then these little things hook on the bobbin so that it prevents the threads from coming undone. And these little things go around the, sorry, it's quite difficult to do this with one hand. It goes around the thread spool to again prevent the threads from coming undone. So I did used to use this quite a lot with my threads before I got a thread kind of box, which I'll show you later on. So that's that. Over here I have my embroidery needles, normal hand sewing needles, cross stitch needles, that sort of thing. Over here I have my machine sewing machine needles. So if I show you what I have, a twin needle there. I used to use that for hemming my jersey items on the cuff, the neckband and the waistband, although now I either use a stretch stitch on my sewing machine or even a decorative stitch, which I might show you later on. So instead of doing 2 lines of stitching at the hem, you can use one of your decorative stitches on your sewing machine to do that, and that actually looks quite nice, and it has a bit of stretch because of the design. Jeans needles, which I use obviously for jeans or for anything thick like cord, that sort of thing, cord, denim. That's all I can think of. Maybe some wools as well. Embroidery needles, I use that for top stitching because the hole, I think Tilly in the Buttons recommended that, because the hole of the needle is slightly bigger than your average sewing machine needle. It allows the thicker top stitching thread to go through without it fraying as the needle is going up and down. Stretch needles for obviously knit, so jerseys, cotton jerseys, viscose jerseys, sweatshirting, that sort of thing, French terry. Universal needles, which as they say, I mean they are universal, so I would normally use that for non-stretch fabrics, so cottons, that sort of thing. What else do we have here? Ballpoint needles, again, these are good for jersey fabrics, anything with stretch. And it's called a ballpoint, so because the needle isn't as sharp, so it's got sort of a ball end, so the needle slides in between the fabric weave as opposed to cutting through them, if that makes sense. So you don't get any runs or any big holes in your fabric, and then the rest of it is just the same sort of duplicates of those. Over here I have my Overlocker spare needles. Over here I have various like hooks and bars. Actually, they're all hooks and bars, hooks and eyes. Here, even more hooks and eyes. Oh, I also have what are these? Snap fasteners. So like big plastic ones. Again, lots of hooks and eyes. It's funny because I was tidying up my sewing room, and it's funny what you can find when you tidy up, because I did not know I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes of hooks and eyes and hooks and bars. So there you go. This is a Prim wrist needle minder, I suppose. So this is like, I don't know if you remember back in the day, well I'm 40, so back in the 80s we used to have these, you slap it on, I can't really do it, but you slap it on and it basically curls around your wrist, and it's a magnetic surface there, so you can put your needles there as you're sewing, so your needles are to hand. Over here we have my sewing feet. I will have a quick look and see what's in here. Oh, please don't judge me if I get this wrong. This is a free motion quilting thing, Quilting Foot. So when you put that on, you don't have sort of a plate where the needle could get jammed. So then you have free motion movement. You can move the needle, the fabric as you please. This, I believe, is a edge stitch foot, and it's adjustable. These are zipper feet. This is an invisible zipper, I believe. This is another zipper foot. I'm not sure the difference at the moment. I believe these ones are for quilting, or just if you want like sort of a particular seam allowance. What else is here? This is like a I'm not sure what that is. It's like I think for like bias binding, but like really tiny, or like, oh no, I know, it's a rolled hem, a narrow rolled hem foot. So if you put that, it's quite, I don't know if you can see it, if you feed your hem through, it kind of folds it and stitches it at the same time. So you would use that, I suppose, for quite lightweight fabric, chiffons, viscoses, that sort of thing, and you get that really narrow hem at the end. I'm not sure what that is, but there you go. They're my feet there. Over here I have some buckles for dungarees, sort of dungaree buckle things here, and some jeans buttons. So these jeans buttons you just hammer in into your project. Oh, and I have a little what else is in here, like a bra back piece and little the metalware for bra making. I have made a bra in the past, but it was beautiful, but it was a fail because it did not fit to me. Just various elastic widths here, thinner ones, thicker ones, shearing elastic. This is Wonder Web, which is the stuff that you iron on to stick fabric together. So if you want to hem like some trousers, I suppose, and you don't really want to sew it, you could do that. Or even you could do that first and then stitch over it for accuracy. Some white bias binding, various ribbons, different width ribbons, some rickrack. This is for sort of children's wear, rickrack and ribbons again. Here we have some invisible zips, more thread, not thread, elastic. I think I used these when I was making my masks for, you know, COVID. Elastic again, different zip lengths, invisible zips. These are the exposed plastic zips for children's wear. More zips there, and some thicker Wonder Web over there. This is just an icon. I'm a practicing Catholic, so there's just an icon there that I have in my sewing room. Over here we have a tall boy. These are just sort of overflow things that doesn't fit in sort of my nice boxes. These are my labels and thread for my sewing pattern tubes. Various cables and things, feet for my sewing machines. This one are just sort of bits and bobs, pom-pom trims for children's wear, I suppose. What else is in here? Yeah, more of those bobbin minder things. And I've got some knitting thread, knitting yarn there. On the top of here I have just various boxes. This is still my Guthrie & Garney Sew Over It Ava kit, which I haven't yet made up, but it is part of my Make 9, so I shall get onto that. Some pattern books, so Tilly's Stretch, Tilly's Make It Simple, Breaking the Pattern by Named Clothing, and also I bought a pattern making for fashion design book, which I don't use and I haven't used, and I do regret buying it because I believe it was about 40 or 50 pounds, and I've never used it, which is a shame. Over here, here are some of my patterns. So what I do, I am a tracer of patterns, so I have this pattern paper here. I can't get it out. I don't know if you can see it. It's just a reel of pattern paper. So it's tracing pattern paper, and this brand is Gateway, and that was just from Amazon, and it probably lasts me a good year or so. So and it's probably about £25, I believe, and you get quite a lot for your money. These are poster tubes, I believe they're called, again from Amazon. I would say they're about almost 24-inch long pattern tubes. And what I do is my pattern pieces, once I've cut them out in this tracing paper here, I will then roll them up and I will pop them into a poster tube, and then I literally have just like a hair elastic here, and then my little labels with a thread saying what it is. So here is the Tilly in the Buttons Lyra. I've got here Tilly in the Buttons Freya, Megan Nielsen Amber, which is a maternity dress, Jennifer Lauren Pippi, Sew Over It Georgie, Tilly in the Buttons Lotta, Tilly in the Buttons Billy. You can see I like Tilly in the Buttons. By Hand London Sarah. This is a Burda waterfall coat. What is this one? A New Look knit wrap dress, Tilly in the Buttons Rosa. Oh, by the way, I have found my Rosa pattern when I was clearing up, so that's always a nice thing, because I did mention in my other vlog that I had lost it. And then there's just some wrapping paper here. And the good thing about these poster tubes, to be fair, I bought these prior to COVID 2 years ago, and my intention was to store my patterns in there, but I just didn't have the inspiration or the enthusiasm to do it. But when I tried to actually get rid of these poster tubes, you know, I posted it on sort of some of my WhatsApp groups, sort of, you know, does anybody want them? They're free, I've got quite a few of them, and nobody actually wanted them. So I thought, you know what, I bought them for a reason. They cost money, and money doesn't grow on trees, so I thought I would give it a go. And I'm very happy actually with all my pattern storage now. And if I do find a stray piece, I know exactly where to put it, and they won't get damaged, they won't get bent or creased, pieces lost, so that's great. Over here I have So these boxes are from Amazon, although I believe Hobbycraft do them as well. This is the A5 size, and it's just transparent, and it's got a lid. So this is the box that I use every time I have a sewing project. So this is next to my sewing machine. So it's just your everyday sewing essentials. I've got a little ruler there, a Clover chalk pen, some pins, safety pins, measuring tape, extra bobbins, my friction pens. So these are just from Amazon as well. And they are basically heat erasable pens, so you can draw on your fabric, mark it, what have you, and then once you iron it off, it disappears, which is great. What else do I have here? Little tweezers, which is good for, you know, taking thread out of your machine or threading your machine, or just various uses. And I've got some fray check here from Prim, which I use for buttonhole making. So you can either apply it to the buttonhole before or after to prevent fraying. And I've got a pair of little stalk snips here, and a little ruler, which I bought from eBay, I believe, just a metal 6-inch ruler there. So that's always next to me when I sew. The rest of my bits and pieces that I need for sort of general sewing is in, so I've got my pins here, and you've got these little slots in your machine where you can put various bits and pieces as well, and another slot at the back where I've got my what is this called? My buttonhole foot. This other box over here is my pattern cutting, fabric cutting box, as it were. I should really label these. So this is my electric scissors. I've mentioned these before. Very inexpensive. Well, I would say they're about £30 on Amazon, and they're really great. Makes cutting out fabric really, really smooth and easy, especially if you're cutting thicker fabric like denim or thick sweatshirting, that sort of thing. These blades are replaceable, and when you buy it, I think you get 2 or 3 with it already. This is my rotary cutter, which I thought I had lost or had thrown away in my other vlog. That's what I said about it, but I did find it as I was tidying up my sewing machine. So I rarely use this, but I mean, I still have it. So, and these are the spare blades for them. These are lovely paperweights, which I looked high and low for when I first saw them on Tilly, and the buttons on their pattern envelopes or on their website. And they're really lovely. I think I bought this off a lady off Etsy. They are really lovely, but I just wish they were bigger and heavier. But there you go. What else have I got in here? I've got some more friction pens, red and black, because, yeah, red and black. A pencil, a ruler, and some chalk as well in there. So this is the sort of box that I take when I cut out fabric and cut out patterns, because I don't cut out my patterns or my fabric in my sewing room. I don't have enough space. Although I think I don't have enough space, so I do it on my dining room table downstairs. So I'd bring that downstairs with me. This over here is a similar box from either Hobbycraft or Amazon, and I put my threads in here. So these are called Spool Pods, and I believe they're from Pattern Trace, and they're like some silicone squidgy little containers where you can put your thread and your matching bobbins. That doesn't match, obviously, but you've got your thread and your matching bobbins, and that keeps it nice and tidy in there, and you can layer them up. And I have seen that people do kind of do sort of the color coding there, which also looks nice if that's kind of what you want to do. Over here is my sewing machine. So I have a Faf Quilt Ambition 630. This was an upgrade a couple of years ago. I used to have a brother sewing machine that was given to me by my husband's late grandmother. Sorry, I'm just putting these feet away. So the Faf Sewing Machine, I'm not going to do a complete sort of review or anything about the machine, but I will point out the things that I like about it. So I like that it looks nice. So it's modern, it's sleek, it's obviously computerized, which is lovely. And I believe the new Craft House use these machines for their classes. And it's, yeah, I mean, I really like it. The main thing I like about this is it's got the scissors, so basically when you finish stitching, instead of pulling your thread and cutting it on the side blade here, or using your snips to cut your thread, you just press the scissor button and it will cut it for you. You just pull your fabric away and it's all cut. This is the needle up and down button, which is quite handy if you need to pivot on fabric. If you put the needle down, you can pivot it perfectly and know that it's going to continue stitching from the last stitch. Oh, and this as well, it's the start and stop button. So I don't use the foot pedal for my machine, although it obviously comes with one. I prefer to use this because it's just more accurate. So for example, if I only need 1 or 2 stitches to the end of, say, the corner of a collar, I could just do one button and that will do one stitch, press it again, do another stitch. Whilst if I was using my presser foot, for example, if I pressed on it too hard, I would obviously do more than 1 or 2 stitches and then it wouldn't be accurate and it would go over the seam allowance, blah, 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 that sort of thing. So I really like the fact that I've got this button. Also, I believe this is really good for children their feet can't reach the bottom of the floor yet, so they can't reach the foot pedal. Also for people that may have a sort of disability with their feet maybe, or they've got arthritis, that sort of thing. So again, this is quite good that you can just press the buttons in front of you there. It's also got a needle threader there. One of the main pros of this machine is it has an integrated walking foot, which is this little foot here, and you just push it down and it clicks underneath your sewing machine foot. And basically a walking foot allows the fabric to be moved under the feet together and precisely, so you're obviously sewing 2 pieces of fabric together. Sometimes, depending on the fabric, if it's a stretchy fabric or if it's like a slippery fabric, the bottom fabric won't move at the same time as the top fabric, so you end up with uneven seams, or you end up with pulled threads, missed stitches, that sort of thing. And I know most people will actually buy a separate walking foot to attach to their machines depending on the project that they're working on, but this obviously has the integrated one there, which is great. What else does it do? Oh, this is the speed for the stitches. So you press your button here to start stitching and this will go up and down. So if you put it up there, it's the fastest speed, and obviously down here it's the lowest speed. And you've got all the various stitches there. I only use probably about 5 or 6 of these stitches, and then the computerized, all the stitches are on here as well, so they all correspond with those ones up there. So all your stitches, you've got buttonholes. Oh, this is the decorative stitches I was talking about. So instead of hemming with a twin needle or with a cover stitch to get the 2 lines on your hems, I have been known to do sort of this stitch here or this stitch there, that stitch there, so you have like a decorative stitch basically on your hems, which I think look quite nice, especially for children's wear, sometimes for adult wear as well, which is lovely. This also does alphabets. Let me find it. Does it do alphabet? Of course it does. I'm not sure how to get to the alphabet one. Oh, there you go. It does an alphabet, and it does like a cursive, which I don't believe it's on here. So it does sort of big writing. It does also different fonts, I think, but I can't. I will have to do another video on it. But it does do sort of a cursive font for decorating, I suppose, personalized items that you want to give to somebody or for your own children, that sort of thing. Obviously this bit comes out so that you can use this to insert sleeves, to sew sleeves with ease, and that's about it really. The lighting in this room isn't very good, so at the moment I have this light there and an upper light above there, which my husband has kindly installed, and yes, we need to get new lighting in here. This worktop unit is basically a wooden kitchen worktop unit that we bought off eBay, and then we just bought some Ikea feet and attached them there, and I think it works quite well. This is my I don't know, sewing journal, as it were. I just bought this from TK Maxx, so I don't know if they have it anymore. TK Maxx has like a variety of bits and bobs, and I just like the fact that it was hardback, it was an A4 size, and it looked pretty. and actually it looked kind of like stitched embroidery effect on the front there. Anywho, so when I first started, obviously I had different coloured pens. I added sort of fabric swatches and it was all nice and neat. There you go. As we go forward, I'll show you, it just gets worse and worse. But basically this is all my ideas, all my sketches, sizing, that sort of thing. When I make a pattern, I will write it down on here, and I will note down sort of the adjustments that I made. So if I lengthened the bodice by 2 inches, if I shortened the arms, that sort of thing. Because at the time when you're sewing, you think you'll remember and you think you won't need to write it down, but if you don't sew that garment again for another month or so, you will actually forget. And so it's nice to note everything all down here. And also I have my notes for my future vlogs and stuff in here as well, so that's great. This is a self-healing mat from Ancio, again just off Amazon. This is a smaller version. I did have a bigger version which I used when I was using my rotary cutter to cut out fabric. Unfortunately they are self-healing mats, so when you cut on it, it should re-heal and like join back together. Unfortunately my big one failed to self-heal, so I think that's gone in the bin. Sorry, it's a pack of baby wipes there. I mean, baby wipes, aren't they the best thing? I don't know how I survived without them before I had children, but they're great for wiping things down, wiping your sewing machine, getting, you know, a stain off your clothes. Anywho, that's there. This is my pattern stash. Most of my paper patterns are in here. I will show you my other PDF patterns later on. So let's go through a couple here. So we've got the Sew Over It. This is their old packaging, Sew Over It Ultimate Shift Dress. My very first pattern that I bought and that I made. If you see my very first vlog, I will say that was my introduction to sewing, basically. Sew Over It Penny Dress, Sew Over It Joan Dress, and then we've got all the Tilly and the buttons. We've got Tilly Rosa, which I found, which I thought I'd lost. The Sarah Shirt Dress, McCall's M7974. This has been quite popular, and I am planning to make this in the next couple of months for a wedding that I plan to go to. I wanted to make the bishop sleeve version with a longer skirt in some flowy viscose or lawn from Lady Mcelroy. Again, Billy, Tilly and the Buttons, Billy, Lyra, Cleo. I've made all of these before. Ness. Oh, this is one I haven't made. Agnes I haven't made. Etta I haven't made. Zadie and Lotta, I have made the Lotta. Lotta is a great pattern because it's a very simple, relaxed dress, but it can be made in both woven and knit, which is great. I made mine initially in a knit, and the fabric I chose was a bit too busy and I just didn't think it worked. It was a cotton jersey, so maybe a viscose jersey would work better, or a viscose. So I will try it in a viscose because I have quite a lot of viscose that I would like to make up. Pauline Alice, this is kind of when I started sewing, is what, you know, this is I discovered Pauline Alice. I don't believe she's that popular on Instagram, but I may be mistaken. But I like this dress because everything is interchangeable, so you get 3 bodices, 3 skirts and 3 sleeves. So you've got the V-neck bodice here, a wrap bodice with princess seams, a crew neck bodice with princess seams. So they're the 3 bodices. The 3 sleeves, you get a 3/4 length, a sleeveless and a short sleeve. Obviously the sleeves you can just extend as you please to get different lengths. So they're the 3 sleeves. And the 3 skirts, you have a short fitted skirt, a long sort of pencil skirt with a slit. Again, the slit you can omit or you can put it at the back if you want to. And then a panelled flared skirt. And so the idea is you can interchange all of these to make as many as 150 options, I believe. If I can find a picture, I will pop one up of all the different things you can make, all the different combinations you can make, and I'll pop that up over here. So more patterns. Nina Lee Mayfair, I haven't yet made that. Nina Lee Camden, I have made that skirt before and I really enjoy it, so I'm going to make more of those. Jennifer Lauren Pippi Pinafore, a lovely make. I've shown that to you before and I have made that. I would like to make that again because I have got some floral corduroy from Lady Mcelroy, which I want to make up in that. Megan Nielsen Matilda, I love this dress. I've made it twice before. One version is as standard and the second version on their blog, they have a hack to include sleeves, which I've done, and also when they were doing a newsletter to promote their Megan Nielsen pattern, they saw my photos on Instagram and they asked if I could be part of their newsletter, which is great. Then we have the Megan Nielsen Darling Rangers dress, which is very popular. I've made this twice before and I'd like to make that again. Friday Pattern Company Wilder gown. I haven't made it yet. This is very popular on Instagram, and people have done a lot of hacks though, because I believe there's just such a lot of fabric. I think it's like 4 meters of fabric, and most people have found that it's too it swallows you up basically. So they have either added waist ties or a belt, or decrease the width of the tiers. Most people have also lowered the waistline here because it's quite a high empire line, so they've lowered it to your natural waist. And yeah, so I will try and make that at some point. It is fabric hungry, and I do actually like this pussy bow tie at the top there. Fiona sundress by Closet Case, I believe they're now called Closet Core. I haven't made that yet, but it does look like a lovely dress. I would personally wear it with a t-shirt underneath, because I'm not too keen on showing off my my shoulders and things. Jessica blazer. This is sort of a sewing goal for me, to make my own blazer. I do believe there are quite a few tailoring techniques involved in that, and also quite a few different interfacing things that you need to buy, so it is quite an involved project. But if you look on Instagram at what people have made, they are just so beautiful, and I will try and make that at some point. The Salida skirt by True Bias, haven't made that yet, but I quite liked the panelled skirt and sort of the front yoke on that. And then we have, these are patterns from magazines. So I used to subscribe to Simply Sewing magazine. I have gotten rid of, I've given away most of the patterns that I really don't think that I was going to use, but these are the ones that I have decided to keep. The Layla dress. Let me just take them out actually, that probably makes more sense. We've got just a staple, a t-shirt there. The Kellum skirt, which has got a, is it called a box pleat or an inverted box pleat there? A wrap dress. I have this fabric, it's a Lady Mcelroy, but I have it in the mustard colourway. Another lovely skirt there. The Ashleen dress, I believe that's called. And I just love this embroidery bit here. And I did, I think they tell you they bought it from, they sourced it from Stoff and Still. I'm not sure if they still have it, but I just really like that. A lovely summer dress, sort of for the beach, that sort of thing. Similar blouse again with embroidery patches. The Amelie dress, I just like the look of it and I thought might as well keep it. A lovely jumper there. That's the cable stitch, cable knit fabric that I have as well. The Eloise set, so this is a coat, a dress, or you can do with the arms or without the arms. So there you go. Over here we have the Cambria Duster by Friday Pattern Company. I have made this before and I really enjoyed every step of it because I was working with this gorgeous Melton wool, but it was nice. But in the end, when I wore it, the back of the let me show you the line drawings, there was like a pull mark. So you know when something's too tight and you have like lines on the fabric because it's too tight, so it didn't fit me nicely, so I haven't really worn it, but next time I guess I could just maybe increase this back pattern piece here, so that I have more room in the shoulder area so that I wouldn't get any pulls there. This is unlined, although I believe some people have hacked, or even on their blog I believe they've included a blog post about how to create a lining to go in it. But in a Melton wool, it's quite nice. It's almost like a cardigan jacket, cardigan coat. Obviously, if you line it, you can then use thicker fabrics like wools, and that would be quite nice. The only other problem with the one that I made, the Melton wool, even though I hadn't washed it yet, it started to fluff around the armpit area, and that just really got me down because I think it wasn't the cheapest of wool, and I really loved the style, but I was just disappointed at how the fabric didn't wear well, let alone wash well. But there you go. This is a Simplicity cardigan, which I quite like. It is like a twin set. So you'd like a long sleeve top. I guess you could turn that into a short sleeve and like a matching cardigan there with contrasting cuffs and waistband. New look wrap dress. I've made this before. It was okay. I just needed to do a couple of tweaks around this area because the v-neck was slouchy, so I had to just put in a couple more pleats on the side seam there. New look. This is a child's pattern, obviously, and the reason I bought this is because my children have some dresses from Rachel Riley, which is a London design, and her dresses I think are about 80 to 90 pounds, and it's basically button down, short sleeve, and it's got the Peter Pan collar. And I thought, well, I've got this pattern, I could easily make my children very similar dresses, even using really fancy fabric, you know, Rifle Paper Company or Liberty, and I could get the same effect at half the price. Well, probably not half the price if I'm using Liberty, but you know what I mean. The thought was there. New look is a shirt dress. I love a shirt dress and I love a good collar. I haven't yet made that. A new look blouse, a new look dress. This is for my daughter. A Burda wrap dress. I have made this before, although my one turned out really, really super tight and I haven't revisited it yet. A butterick coat there, a wrap coat with a collar. This is the Burda coat that is part of my Make 9, which I would like to make pretty soonish. This is a thread count maxi dress. I did make this and I followed all the instructions, but it was just really, really big. So I don't know if the size, I chose the wrong size or what have you, but I haven't revisited that yet. Cashmerette Appleton dress. This is very popular. When I made my dress, it's on my Instagram post. Cashmerette did ask if they could repost my make, which was lovely. Named clothing Isla trench coat. I haven't yet made this. And the named clothing Rita. I mean, their packaging is lovely. I don't know if you can see, it's slightly embossed, so you can feel it. You can feel all the font there with your fingers, so it's really nice and tactile. Their pattern envelopes are actually, well, it's not an envelope, it's more like a box envelope, which is lovely and substantial, and it just looks really nice. I have opened them and I have read the instructions. I haven't yet made them. The Rita shirt dress, again, I do love a good shirt dress, but what I didn't realize was this collar is actually, it doesn't have a collar stand. It's called, I believe, a Revere collar, which I'm not too keen on. So let me show you the other. So for example, in comparison to this collar, you can see it's standing up because there's a collar stand at the back, and this collar here is sitting flat. I prefer the one with a collar stand, but I didn't know at the time. So I bought these two shirt dresses because I wanted to make a shirt dress. Lo and behold, Tilly and the Buttons introduced Lyra, and voila, perfect shirt dress in a perfect pattern. What else do I have here? Cashmerette. Just instructions for my Sew House 7 toaster sweater. That's Tilly and the Buttons Georgie. Over here, oh, this is just some of my invoices. But when you do purchase from Lady Mcelroy, I don't know how much you need to spend, but for some reason, well, maybe I have spent a bit more than... Anyway, they give you £10 off your next order if you spend £65 or more. Also, Lady Mcelroy do, if you follow them on Instagram, they do a monthly competition where if you post a make using the Lady Mcelroy fabric, and if they choose you as the winner, then you win 3 meters of Lady Mcelroy fabric, which is amazing. So I will try to enter that as much as possible. I have lots of Lady Mcelroy fabrics. Just to let you know, it's actually, don't know if you can see that, it's hailstones, Cambridgeshire hailstones. There you go. So back to Lady Mcelroy. Yes, so with the Lady Mcelroy fabric, I'm not sure if you can choose any fabric from their collection, because that would be amazing. There's some lovely pre-orders out at the moment that I'm really, really liking. I do know that Rachel from Stitched Up has won before, and she won her 3 meters of fabric, which is amazing. So that's how I first heard of it, to be fair, through Rachel from Stitched Up. So these are some Vogue patterns. It's like a dress and a jacket to go with each other. Another Vogue dress pattern here. I found out about this pattern from Sean of Kittenish Behaviour, and she loves this style, especially this waistband here. I mean, even in the photo you can see how lovely that shape, that waistband is giving a lovely shape to the dress, and it's also very nice on. So yeah, another coat pattern there, which I haven't used, probably won't use. Oh, and this one again is from recommended by Sean. Actually, both of these are recommended by Sean from Kittenish Behaviour. This one here has got lovely deep pockets. Again, the button front, which I like. And I'd probably do the version without the collar, because that, again, is a Revere collar without the collar stand. And another dress here, which is very similar to this McCall's M7974. So it's got sort of, I don't know what you call these waistbands, but it's kind of like the waistband with the sort of pleated bodice pieces and the long bishop sleeves, which I quite like. And this is the one that I already said that I would like to make, but it's quite similar. Over here also we have another coat, McCall's skirt, McCall's blazer jacket. Quick sew. I have made this pinafore dress before for my daughter in a lovely Liberty fabric, which she doesn't wear anymore, and then my second daughter doesn't really like it, so I am planning to, there's quite a lot of fabric used in that skirt. It's a full circle skirt, so I am planning to upcycle that dress, use the gorgeous Liberty fabric for perhaps a shirt or a blouse for myself. Another coat pattern there. Dress top pattern. Why did I get this one? Oh, I got this one because I liked the sort of paneling. It's like a crossover, which I think, oh, there you go, you can see it better there. I love that cross of the fabric there. I think that would look nice in accentuating a waistline. Also color blocking options you could do there, so that's why I bought that. Actually, I should really give that one a go. That looks quite nice. Funny what you find, hey. A McCall's dress is just a jersey dress. Again, that was for my daughter. My daughter made that one herself. And she made this one as well, actually. Another jersey dress there. And another jersey dress there, McCall's jersey dress. Simple Sew Annabelle dress. Meant for my daughter again. Simple Sew Scarlet dress. It's a peplum style, which is quite nice. Another Simple Sew wrap dress there. What else have I got? Bits and pieces here, invoices and things. So that's it. Up here I have, this is a wedding photo of myself and my husband. This is a Christmas card back in 2018, back when I had 2, 4, 6 children. I'm expecting number 7 in that photo, actually. I've got some various pens, sellotape, that sort of thing. Over here is my Kylie and the Machine's label tin collection. Label tin, sorry, with my labels in it. I shall open this. So I've got my labels, this Kylie and the Machine, Perfectly Imperfect, Kylie and the Machine, this is the back, which is quite cute. And then I discovered a new label company called This Is For Makers. Ruan from the Yorkshire Sew Girl, I think, posted about it, and I thought, great, you know, another independent company releasing different labels. And I quite like these because they are reversible, so handmade. On the back it says handmade with little scissors. Sorry, I don't know if you saw that. Hello. Made to measure. This one says Maker, I believe. And this one says unique with scissors. And basically, there's another one here. I made this one in the reverse for you, which is really nice. So basically they were doing a deal. I don't know if the deal is still going on, so mind, This Is For Makers are doing a deal where if you bought 3 packets of their labels, they would give you, I believe, 8 or 10 labels that aren't in packaging, that are seconds. So they're still perfectly usable. They're just not perfect, well, how the owner wanted it to be perfect. Maybe the colouring was different, the font was different, but they're still perfectly usable labels, which is great. So I've got all of that in my label stash. Sorry about all the noise. It's half term and all the children are at home. Although, to be honest, I actually home educate my children so that they're at home most of the time. But that's a different vlog, I think. This is my, I don't know what they call this. my vlogging light stand, which my husband gifted me for Christmas. Basically around November time, I was just watching all my vlogs, and sometimes he'd come in and watch some vlogs with me, and he said to me, oh, why don't you vlog? That's a good idea. And I thought, no, I couldn't do it. And he actually bought me the kit, surprised me for Christmas Day, and he says, look, I've got the bits for you, why don't you give it a go? And so here we are. This is my Singer overlocker. It's the S1478. This was a purchase from Lidl. I believe it was only about £120 in Lidl, although the exact same model is going for about £2.50 on Amazon. So Lidl, I don't know how they do it, but they do it. So I've got my grey threads there. What can I say about this overlocker? I'm not enjoying it. In recent times I haven't been enjoying it. Basically I have recently bought a new screw for this needle here, because the needle kept popping out. Presumably the screw has lost its threads, quite literally. Oh, that's like a sewing pun there, but not. Also, I might have to show you another time when I do put my fabric through here. My blade only cuts for a while, and then after a while it starts to jam. This bit kind of comes out, and then it just gets all messy, and then I just get irritated. So now when I try to sew, I either cut the extra seam allowance and then just sew at the edge, overlock it at the edge, or I have a bigger seam allowance just to avoid me getting frustrated with this Singer machine. Oh, just a little tip about threading overlockers. I'm not sure where I heard it from, but every time you thread your overlocker, once you've removed all your threads, if you put it all at 0, apparently it opens up, I think they're called like little plates, it opens it up. So when you then put your thread in, it's threaded properly, and then when you put your dial to whatever setting you want, the thread is in the correct place. Apparently that's something that is good for you and your machine. There you go. This over here is my cover stitch machine. So for those of you that don't know, the overlocker does your seams. It does your professional, it gives you professional looking seams. I'm not sure if I can show you on my jumper right now. Probably not. Here. It does this, it does the seam. So if you look at your ready to wear clothes, look at the seams, you'll have overlocker thread. An overlocker was used to finish off those seams. So it's basically 4 threads, or you can have 3 threads that overlock each other to finish off your seams. This is a cover stitch machine, which does the twin needle, I suppose, hemming of your garments. So if you look again at your ready to wear t-shirts, if you look at the cuff, sorry, this doesn't have a hem, but if you look at your cuffs and your ready to wear items, they will have 2 lines of stitching, and believe it or not, that is done with a totally separate machine, and it's called a cover stitch. So this is the cover stitch CV3550, brother. Believe it or not, you will never believe this actually. Prior to COVID, probably 6 months prior to COVID, I wanted to get a cover stitch. My birthday was coming up, and our anniversary is around the same time as my birthday. And I said to my husband, I'd really like a cover stitch. And he said, okay, do some research. So anyway, I posted on Facebook, and I was asking people, you know, what they recommend, because I believe it's this brother and there's another make that are the 2 that most people go for. And some people were saying, oh, you should get this, you should get this. And then one lady actually said, look, I have this brother machine. She's downsizing. Do I want it? Hello, do I want it? And I was like, oh my goodness, oh, that is so kind of you. Like, how much do you want for it? Blah, blah, blah. And she said, literally, look, I don't want any money from it. I'm for it. I'm downsizing. It would be nice to go to someone who would use it. Oh dear. It would be nice to go to someone who obviously loves sewing, who would use it. All she wanted was postage and packaging costs, which was about £30, and a donation to her chosen charity, which was amazing. The box arrived in plenty, you know, like literally a couple of days the box arrived. It still had the receipt. It was less than a year old. It cost about £500. It still had the warranty. It's pretty much brand new. It has all the bits, all the packaging of, you know, all the wrap, foam wrapper and stuff in the box, but I'm just too scared to use it. So I even have the operating manual here. And I will at one point, maybe when I'm feeling adventurous, have a look If anybody actually knows of any YouTube videos or vlogs that talk about this particular machine, how to thread it, how to use it, I'd be very grateful. So there you go. And to be honest, actually, with regards to my overlocker, I first bought my overlocker say a couple of years ago, and it remained in its box for like 2 years because I was too scared to use it, and then eventually I sold it to somebody on eBay for the same price that I bought it for, and lo and behold, as soon as I sold it, I wanted another one. And then funny story is that my father-in-law then gifted me one, which was lovely. So there you go. Over here is another Ikea pegboard, and these are the little shelves I was talking about, so they're quite deep little shelves. And here I just have all my overlocker cones. Over there I have a family calendar which is now expired, that's 2021. A bit of cross stitching here that says Daniel and Crystal, which is myself and my husband, and our wedding date, 2nd of September 2006. I started this when I was pregnant with my youngest, because with a big belly I couldn't really get to my sewing machine comfortably, so I started cross stitching. Embroidery. I have done embroidery before, but I like to keep my hands busy. I like to be, you know, crafty, making things, that sort of thing. And sorry, there's some buttons here, and there's another icon there of Our Lady. Over here I've got my fabric. I will maybe have to do like a second vlog to go through all the fabric properly. We've got some sweater knits, cords, what is that called, tapestry, wools, some denims. Here we have jerseys, viscose jerseys, cotton jerseys. Here we have a lot of different chambray, stretch denims, ponturomas, crepes, some cords, some suiting, cable knits, cotton jersey again there. This is my favorite one. These are all the viscoses. Lady Mcelroy there, Lady Mcelroy, Lady Mcelroy, Lady Mcelroy, Lady Mcelroy, Lady Mcelroy. Fabric Godmother, Minerva. This is just from the market. Abacan Fabrics, Rainbow Fabrics Kilburn, Lady Mcelroy, Lady Mcelroy. Inexpensive stuff, Lady Mcelroy, Lady Mcelroy, oh dear. Minerva, this is from Lamazi Fabrics, Textile Centre, Sew Me Sunshine, Peter Horton, Sew Me Sunshine, William Morris. Down here we have some cords. This is the Lady Mcelroy cord. This is my herringbone from Rainbow Fabrics Kilburn, ex-Ted Baker dead stock. Some scubas down there. Over here I have my mannequin with my fail of the year, the Sarah shirt dress. Over here is just, so this room used to be an old bathroom, and the previous owners obviously turned it into a room and they've boxed it up. We've just moved into this house about 3 months ago. A full length mirror there. And over here I've just got my cover stitch box, my Faf box. This is actually our wedding photo album. This is the box for my leather needle thread bag that I made. Knitting bag with my knitting needles in there. This is just craft beads and stuff. This is what is this? Oh, this is like some bra making stuff. Let me have a look. So I did make this pattern. It's the orange, what is it called? The orange Devonshire bra. I believe they've got their own website and they're on Etsy as well. And various bits and pieces here. Let me just... Bra making supplies. So we've got bra making supplies. What do we have? So you can have, so you've got like gorgeous laces. Bra making is actually quite fun because of all the fabrics and things that you can buy. So we've got sort of shiny fabric here. We've got sort of like a lacy fabric there. Then you've got your power mesh, which is the stretchy bits that you use. What else do we have here? These are the nursing clips, so you can drop down, you can have the drop down cups. So that's that, sorry. Over here I have a fabric swatch book, which I haven't used. This was from Pattern Trace. And basically the idea is you get your fabrics You cut them up, you have a swatch, and you can label them fibers, fabric, weight, source, stashed. So basically you have a catalogue of what fabric you have. I haven't actually used it, which is a shame, and I've got some extra inserts from there. I got that as well from Pattern Trace. I believe I bought that when I bought the Spool Pods, just to get over the free delivery, you know, where you have to spend a said amount to get free delivery. Over here is my these are a box of my, what are these called, snaps for children's wear. So little snaps there, all different colors. You've got clear ones. These are for, you know, the bottoms of baby grows and vests and things. Over here I've used this on my Tilly and the Buttons Rosa dress, so it's like, it's great for denim. These are the sort that you can hammer in. So these are what I use these pliers for. So these pliers I use to install these, and basically you have various little heads and things that I probably won't be able to show you properly, but you put one piece on that end, one piece on the other end, and then you put one top bit to that, the bottom bit of this, and then you squeeze it down on your fabric, and it installs the poppers for you. Under here, various bits and pieces, buttons, and then this is just embroidery kits here, beads, things here. Over here we have PDF patterns, quite a lot. I might have to do a second video and just go over all of these patterns, so I'll take them off the shelf, put them on my table, and then I'll do a proper vlog and go through all of those. Here is what I call the children's fabric stash, as it were. So all printed jerseys, French terries, fleeces, that sort of thing. But I will be doing a second video going through all the fabric individually and pulling things out so you can see the fabric. So if you'd like to see that, go to my so I will call this the sewing room tour part 1, and I will do a sewing room tour part 2. Thank you for watching. See you again soon.